I'm Branko Cosic and I'm a computational design student at the UNSW built environment. I first became interested in the built environment when I was younger, and I went to soccer games. The stadiums interested me and the passion they housed, because I thought that without all the people within the stadiums, they were sort of empty and bare and really not very interesting buildings actually. But as soon as the players and supporters sort of sat in there, it became this whole new sort of world and experience, and yeah, that was sort of it. Everything that we design and make is made for the person who uses it, the people who use it and the people who pass through it. Expression and the experience that they'll have in those spaces is very important. It's actually one of the main considerations when you sort of approach a design or a brief or a problem, is how the user will interpret and feel in that space. Computational design is a lot of things. I think it's sort of like a intersectoral collaboration between all these aspects of design. We dip our feet in some coding, some urban analysis, solar analysis, urban planning, then we go to some Arduino type designs, and we go over to the built environment, buildings, facades, anything you could imagine. I think that's why it's really difficult to sort of pinpoint your passion in the profession. I think that's why it's good for those types of people who aren't sure what they want to do, but because of that we do a lot of things, and computational design is sort of like a bit of everything. I think that this computational design is a very, very young profession. Actually, it's only existed for the past maybe couple of years, and that is because this sort of new generation of technologies are becoming more and more available and easier to learn in a sense as well. And computational design is synonymous with the technology in the world. You always see us use some of the newest programs, we always experiment as well with some of the newest prototyping methods and things like that, and yeah, it's very, very important to sort of pursue those new technologies. I enjoyed the whole course actually. I enjoyed the stress, but a lot of my colleagues would disagree with me. It's really bittersweet, but at the end, once you do complete that project, hand it in, submit it, and get all those projects done in that week or those 2 weeks, I don't know, you feel uplifted and you feel really good, and at the same time you're really irritated that you didn't do this or that, but I think it's really rewarding. All our tutors are industry professionals. All of them work and practice in pretty big architectural companies here in Sydney or abroad, and I think that's really, really amazing about this course, is that you get to work with professionals who have been in the industry for 10 years, 20 years. So some of them are really experienced people, and I think they frame your approach to a lot of the design. It's really interesting. We learn and experience such a large amount of programs, from architecturally relevant programs like Rhino and Revit. We move over to urban analysis programs such as ArcGIS, and we also experience program-based applications, programs. Things like Python and processing, we learn those. And I think that is a skill set that architectural practice doesn't really have. Individuals that have such experience in many different programs and approaches to doing things, and merging these previously separate professions of programming, urban analysis, all into one, and having it better affect design and architecture and things like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be architecture, but it's something that people most popularly associate with computational design. A computational designer can do small things as simple as little aesthetic installations, to data analysis, to urban analysis of whole cities, to architectural facades and buildings and things like that. It's really a broad sort of profession. In computational design, we do everything. We do sections, we do programs that make responsive models, we do installations that affect contexts in various cities or things like that. We do urban analysis of buildings and the best placement of those buildings. We do so many things that your interest is always at a peak, in a sense, because every project or every course is a new avenue, a new experience, and I think it's really, really interesting that way. I think that my sort of boyhood dream would be to do something with sports and stadiums and things like that. I think that scale is really, really amazing. But honestly, I'd be happy to make, small architectural installations or anything really that, people walk by and experience and see, even though they might, not even realise that's been designed, many hours are put into it. I think, take a lot of pride when you see something there that's, from your own work or that you've seen previously on a computer screen and you see it in the flesh, in the real world, and it's really cool that way. One person will come in and will love to make, facades for a stadium, and the next will come in and want to make, the next Sydney Opera House or something relative to music. And I think the experiences that we have as people when we come into this course is what sort of makes design as a profession really expressive and interesting. Having something house a person that would then house their, experience and behaviour and their reaction, and seeing that, I think that's really interesting. That's what I'd love to make an impact in, just those reactions of humans in the space that I make.